Hello there, BookTube. My name is Daniel. Welcome back to my channel, Guilty Feet. Money, please. I've got no rhythm. The reason behind my introduction is one of my favourite characters in Parks and Rec, Mona Lisa Saperstein, played by the great Jenny Slate, who was also in my favourite Chris Evans non-superhero movie called Gifted, and she is the wife of today's author Ben Shattuck, who wrote The History of Sound. Ben Shattuck, I like saying that almost as much as I like saying money. Ben Shattuck wrote The History of Sound. It's a collection of loosely linked short stories, so thematically linked, more at least to my memory than characters. Maybe some places reoccur or they reference back some of the things that happened in earlier stories, but then they're very loosely connected. They're not as close to say Olive Kitteridge, which I guess is the template for this kind of short stories hiding as novels. But that was more, Olive Kitteridge I think flows beautifully and works as that collection of short stories. This is very much, apart from the fact that it just doesn't say it on the cover, this is a collection of short stories. I was gifted this copy by my friend Cindy, who reads an enormous amount of frontlist novels, but then doesn't keep them all like I do here, and passes them on or donates them. And she gave me this copy because she thought I would appreciate it, and I did. I would say that the best part of this is the first and title story. The History of Sound itself is a very short story. Not very short. It is a short story that opens this, and I think it's the best of what we have to offer here. But these stories are linked thematically, in that they all take place on the coast and up and down the coast of wherever it is, somewhere in New England. Have I got that right? Nantucket, New Hampshire, and beyond. So I guess that's sort of up there on the right-hand side of North America, or America itself. And the at least the opening story, The History of Sound itself, is a beautiful love story. Two men who go touring round America in the pre-recording age with a giant device for recording folk songs that they hear that are recorded on these wax cylinders or whatever the format was back then, and then they sort of, these cylinders reappear. But it's really a story of the relationship between these two men, and it's perfectly lovely. And actually my copy on the back already says soon to be a major movie starring Paul Mescal and Josh O'Connor. I would imagine that soon-to-be major movie is just that first story, The History of Sound, rather than the rest of what's in it. But I still found everything else in here perfectly readable, very accessible, and rather lovely. But I would recommend that you take the time and read the first story, The History of Sound, and then when the movie comes out, maybe we'll see what it has to offer. But don't necessarily have to, because I've read the book. History of Sound, Ben Shattuck. Just enjoy it. Just everyone pause a second and just say Ben Shattuck. What a great name. A lovely collection, a superior opening story. Thank you very much. God bless. Bye.